Avalanche. Oh my God, what a week they had last week. And we're going to get into that because institutions weighed in hard on Avalanche last week. I don't want to talk about its potential down the line, but I think, top five coin, definitely plausible. So before I get into that, as always, I update the spreadsheet. Just the first 26 coins I held, first 26 coins I spoke about on YouTube. If you invested $100 when I released the videos about these coins and you were still holding all that crypto, you'd be in profit for over 45 grand. It's not what I hold anymore. If you want to see what I hold, come check out Copy My Crypto. The link's in the description. It's where I share every coin I buy, every coin I sell. So if you're new, it's very simple. You can literally copy the trades I make, copy the profits myself and the members make. In 2021, we had phenomenal investments in terms of long-term investments, quick flips, airdrops, and there's opportunities in this market all the time. A hell of a lot of the members recently got in on a coin that's more than 3x in the past sort of 48 hours. These opportunities are knocking about in the market, and there is money to be made. So if you want to match the gains of the members, click the link in the description and check it out. So Avalanche had a beast of a couple of days. Firstly, it's rallied really well today. It's actually flipped BUSD and is now 10th largest asset. But the bigger thing is the recent increased demand from institutions. So institutions ended up seeing inflows of over $25 million for Avalanche, which is the second best performer, only beaten by Bitcoin, which is pretty damn impressive when you think about it. So inflows of 25 million. And fundamentally what I want to draw attention to is the fact that this is happening because institutions are always going to flow towards Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're the safest too. But you cannot ignore that fundamentally they're going to start looking at altcoins more, because I don't even feel like you can call Ethereum an altcoin. But they're going to start looking at altcoins. And then they're always going to go heavier into Bitcoin and Ethereum, because like I said, Bitcoin is Bitcoin, right? And Ethereum is the king of smart contracts and probably will be for the next 10 years. I can't see Ethereum getting flipped by another smart contract provider. Certainly not for another maybe 2 decades before that happens, if it happens. Because Ethereum is battle tested. They got up and running years ago, and their smart contracts are, while they're not the fastest smart contracts by any stretch of the imagination, in fact probably the slowest, they're not suffering network congestions, they're not having these significant problems that we see when smart contract platforms are starting off. So Solana's had it a few times in the past year. Cardano will inevitably have it to some degree. Avalanche has had bits, not as much as I would have expected, to be fair. But what Avalanche has going for it is that retail investors are going to go here. The reason being is how low cost it is. Because institutions, like I said, they're always going to flock to Ethereum because Ethereum is the king of smart contracts, right? And when you're playing with that kind of money, what do they give a shit about, like a transaction fee of $1,000 or whatever it is at the time? But if you're a retail investor and you've got $200 to your name, doing 2 transactions on Ethereum that cost you $60 in total has eaten away at a huge proportion of your investment. And you could make potentially the same investment or just do the same thing on Avalanche, staking or whatever, for pennies or cents, like less than $1. And that's what Avalanche has going for it. Its transactions per second are over 4,500. Transactional finality is less than 2 seconds. It's already at proof of stake. And it's energy efficient. And that energy efficiency is going to be a big thing down the line, because institutions are going to look more at energy efficient projects, and we'll probably see governments looking more at the energy efficient ones, because that's a narrative that's in place. So that is going to end up happening. And that's what Avalanche has going for it already. Because of that speed, because of that throughput, and because of those low fees, your retail investor, if they're trying to earn yield, they'll go here because the cost is so minimal. This is why I'm saying Avalanche down the line could be a top 5 coin. Right now, its market cap is what, 20 billion? Yeah, it's ranked 10th. Still needs to go up quite a bit to break into the top 5, but it's achievable for something like this that's going to get more institutional investment. When retailers get into crypto, or when retail investors get into crypto, once they wrap their head around DeFi, they're going to go to Avalanche because it makes more sense. Avalanche's ecosystem has grown enormously. If you go on and you check it out, even on their DeFi, you can see that they've got play to earn models for, chicken, Yay Games, Snail Trail, and Crypto Seals. And I've heard, and to be fair, Yay Games I've heard is pretty good in terms of being able to do in-game mining and farming stuff. So there's probably good yields from playing them. Within their infrastructure, they've got 2 oracles, which I think are Cartesi and Chainlink. Yeah, Cartesi and Chainlink. So they're already looking good. Strong, strong damn oracles. When you're looking at their NFT situation as well, they're growing pretty well. I mean, obviously they're way behind Ethereum, but everything is going to be. But growing pretty well. And then in terms of bridging, they've already got multiple bridges up and running and ready, that are working. So there's Avalanche Bridge, Router Protocol, and XP.network, which is like an NFT multi-chain bridge. All of these provide the opportunity for people to move their Ethereum-based, their ERC20s or whatever, over and start utilizing them in a more cost-efficient way. And that's what you want to see. Because this is, like I said, this is going to grow. So your average investor who doesn't necessarily have a ton of capital behind him is going to be this is going to be far more accessible. And like I said, the gaming platforms are starting to really grow. When you already have a look at what's already transitioned that you can participate in to earn some more Avalanche, Aave have got it up and running now. Curve, Sushi, just to name a few. Kyber Network. Then you've got their own stuff. Trader Joe is a DEX on Avalanche, which is phenomenal. If you're going to start playing around with DEXs on Avalanche, I'd recommend Trader Joe. It's very, very good. In terms of yield optimizers, Yield Yak is probably the most functional, to be fair, or certainly probably one of the easiest, although all 3 are pretty good. In terms of portfolio management, they've got a few different things up and running in terms of DeFi dashboards that, again, easy to use. They're borrowing and lending, like I said, Arve's there, Nexo's there, and they've actually got Benqui there as well. And then, as I said, NFT section really starting to grow. So the benefits of this are that fundamentally their throughput is so damn high, their cost efficiency is so damn good that your average retail investor benefits hugely from using this compared to Ethereum. Binance, we saw Binance Smart Chain looking so strong, but even then now, if you actually start looking at some of the transactions, some of them are not that cheap anymore. Oh, a lot cheaper than Ethereum, but not the pennies on the dollar that they used to be. But Binance, again, in the past year has suffered a few times like congestion, which has really seemed to affect transactional prices. So I've not seen that too much with Avalanche. Now, I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I've not seen much of that at all. And as you can see from just some of the founders, the founder of Aave is saying that Avalanche's consensus is well suited for building DeFi apps due to its scalability features, particularly its high throughput and near instant finality. And the deployment of the Aave protocol on Avalanche will allow users to leverage low transaction costs without compromising the security of the network. This low transaction costs. So important, because DeFi is going to grow from retail hugely. So retail will flock to places where it's most cost efficient, because if you're using Ethereum but you only have a couple $100, it's almost negligible when you're dealing with the transaction fees, particularly at high congestion times. And that's not me slamming Ethereum, it's just the reality, right? Ethereum is still the king of smart contracts, and I still think it will remain the king of them in terms of market cap for a very long time. But this is one that you don't want to be asleep on, because, again, top 5 potential for sure. And down the line, we've got to realize, look, so far this year, it had highs of like $132, $135. And it could do that again with ease. But, bear in mind, in 2020, October of 2020, we're looking at like $4 a coin. In a bear cycle, this could certainly retrace back down to the $20 level. Maybe lower, maybe down to the sort of $10, $9, maybe even back down to the sort of $4 level that it was at. That's a realistic outlook. We do see, in a true bear cycle, 90% retracements. 90% retracement from here drops it down to basically $8. So it's an opportunity. There's an opportunity within this. But in terms of DeFi, if you're looking at entering the DeFi space, do it through Avalanche. Their yield optimizer is very good. You can now enter into the lending protocols and everything else. So you can earn interest, low transaction cost. So one of the more sensible, probably or certainly the top 3 in terms of blockchains for DeFi. Definitely one to have on your radar for 2 reasons. If we continue into a fully fledged bull cycle, which looks tentative at this moment in time, Avalanche is going to really run, and DeFi is due a second significant run. But if we hit a fully fledged bear cycle, Avalanche is going to be you're going to be able to pick this up at bargain basement prices. And I know it's on a lot of people's watch list for good reason. This is something that is going to be around for a long while, and they're making good moves, and they're growing well. And the fact that institutions are going in at 25 million just last week shows that there's at least a desire to start strengthening their altcoin bags. And Avalanche is clearly one of those. It was clearly the number one altcoin that institutions are picking up at this moment in time. So yeah, worth bearing in mind, guys. That's all. Anyway, hope everyone's keeping very, very well. If you're new to crypto, come check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share every coin I buy, every coin I sell. There are opportunities within this market all the time to make some gains, whether that's quick flips or getting in on short-term investments that can do a real run. But the biggest thing is a bear cycle. The bear cycle is what everyone should want, really, because it's the opportunity to get in and build positions for extended time, and they're the retirement positions. So have your sort of list ready. I've got my list ready. I'm going to be watching every coin and seeing what they do. And if I think they can 50 or 100x, I'm going to be sharing them with the Copy My Crypto members. So if you want to make those same gains, click the link in the description and check it out. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.